And as always, I'm thrilled that you're here. This is Six Figure Dog Business. That's the name of this show. This is a live Facebook show where we teach you how to start or grow your dog training business to a healthy 6 figures per year or more revenue. As of now, this show is broadcast once a week on Grow Your Dog Training Business with Ty Brown, a Facebook page. And we also put it on eCollar Technologies. So we're thrilled to have partnered with eCollar Technologies. And the reason we did it is because for eCollar Technologies, this is a win. You know, when you dog trainers are learning new techniques for sales, for marketing, for implementation and stuff like that, it benefits eCollar Technologies because you buy more of their collars. And then everybody wins. You know, we help dogs, we help dog owners, we help ourselves by growing our business. So what we're going to talk about today is the 4 most important numbers for your dog training business. You have to know these numbers if you're going to grow. Or if you're in a rut, or if you're trying to figure out what you need to do, this is the coolest troubleshooting technique. Excuse me. The coolest troubleshooting technique, because what it's going to do is it's going to tell you exactly where your attention needs to go. Exactly. Right? And so in any case, that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Is showing you where you need to put pressure on your business. You know, what you need to touch, what you need to fix, what you need to do more of, what you need to do less of. How would that be? I know so many dog trainers run into this problem because they know they want more revenue, they know they need more, but they just don't know what they're supposed to be doing. And so when you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, you end up doing stuff that has no value. I mean, think about your dog training customers. They're intelligent, great people, but when they don't know what to do, they end up doing silly things, right? You know, they end up doing stuff that the people at work told them to do, or that they, you know, found on like a weird website or something like that, or just things that they think of to do, which are actually not going to help, but maybe even hurt the progress. And so like I say, when you don't know what to do, but you know you need to get to a goal, you can make some silly mistakes. And that's true in training a dog, and it's true in growing a dog training business. And so what I'm going to show you today is the only 4 places where you need to put attention. And if you put the attention in these places the right way, you're going to grow. Simple as that. You're going to fix your revenue problems, etc. So number 1 is traffic. So when I say traffic, what I'm typically referring to is eyeballs on your website. Now, this isn't always the case. This could be attendees at your seminar. This could be referrals who get your phone number. It could be a whole variety of things, right? And so at the end of the day, we have to get traffic coming to see your offers. And so what you don't want to be doing is spending, do not do. I shouldn't say do not, but don't spend your time here. A lot of people say, I know I need to get more traffic. Let me get flyers. Let me put business cards up on bulletin boards. I don't know. There's things that people do that just don't push the needle at all. And so when you're sending out flyers and business cards, it's not like bad, but it's usually not effective stuff. And so there's usually far more effective things to be doing. The only time you should really be doing flyers and business cards is, when you don't have anything else to do. And so yeah, I kind of joke with people that we were a 7-figure company before we even got business cards. And so it's not that business cards are wrong. It's just that, there's a lot more things that you can be doing. And so we need to get traffic on your offers. Now, most of the time we're talking about, getting traffic to your website. That's a big one. Maybe, like I say, you do seminars, maybe, you get a lot of referrals, but at the end of the day, we need X amount of people to see your stuff. And so a lot of people understand this. So they say, let me hire someone to do SEO. And SEO is great. Or let me hire somebody to do ads. And ads are great. Or, let me get more referrals from veterinarians. And veterinarians are great. But the problem is, what happens is if you do all these things, but you don't have a way to funnel them into the next part. So the next part is we need leads. So we need to turn traffic traffic into leads. So this needs to be happening. Whenever we can turn traffic into leads, a lead is somebody that's interested. So for example, X amount of people come to your website. Not everybody's interested. Some people are there just for whatever, they just happened upon it. Some people don't like your style. Some people are the wrong state. They're not, they're in a whole different part of the country, whatever it might be. It's not just a case, let me put a number 1 there. We've got to turn those traffic into valuable leads. And so first off, do you know what your traffic is? Very rarely do I know somebody who knows what their traffic is. Do you know how many referrals you're getting? Very rarely I find anybody that knows that. And so like I say, that's the first thing you got to do is just know the number. If you don't know it, you're not going to get anywhere. And like I say, if you don't know it and you start putting money into SEO, advertisements, you start spending time with more veterinarians, like it might push the needle, but at the end of the day, if that traffic's not turning into leads, what good is it going to do you? It's just not going to do you very much good at all. And so like I say, the second number we need to know is traffic into leads. Now, this is a very simple equation when we're talking about your website. Now, again, when we're talking about things that happen off your website, this might change, but this is a very simple equation. How many people came to your site? How many leads did you get? Pretty simple, right? And that gives us a percentage, right? And so let me give you a baseline percentage. From a website, a percentage you should be shooting for is 10%. And so this is important, right? Because a lot of people have no clue like what's good, what's bad. 10% is a good number on a website. On a landing page, so a landing page is something that you would use for advertisements. So when you're using Google ads, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, things like that, you generally do not want to send them to your home page because your home page generally is going to convert the least. Now, what it's also going to be good at is people, if you've got a good website, people will get in there and they'll figure out what you're doing and things like that. And the leads that you get will be good. They'll be better leads than from a landing page. But the point of a landing page is to just simply get leads that you can then do step 3 with, which I'll talk about here in a second. But from a landing page, you want to shoot for 20% plus. So 20% of the people that come to the landing page become a lead. To your website, 10% of the people that come turn into a lead. And so a lead would be a form fill out, a phone call, an email, something like that. So again, this is the second big number that you need to know. How much traffic? So like I say, first big number, how much traffic? Because like I say, if you're like, I can't get any business from my website, and then you find out that you have nobody coming to your website, there's our problem. For starters, is we have nobody coming. Or maybe people are coming, but we're not getting anybody to talk to. We know that we're not getting traffic turning into leads. And so when we know that there's 2 things that we need to do. We need to improve our copy, and we need to improve our lead generation mechanisms. So our copy is the words that are on the page. And you could even say that copy to a degree extends to the videos, to the testimonials, stuff like that. But it's the content, the copy and the content that's on the page. The lead generation mechanisms are the things on the page that encourage people to enter their information and become a lead, that encourage people to actually reach out and take the next step, right? And so what is your percentage? Website, you should be shooting for 10%. I find most dog trainers have bad copy and bad lead generation mechanisms. So most dog trainers I meet are at 1 to 3% to begin with, and it's just not a good way to do it. All right, number 3. What we need here is leads into sales conversations. So a sales conversation is any time that you can actually present your solution. It's not an email of somebody saying, what's your prices? And you email back, well, tell me about your dog, and they never email back. That's not a sales conversation. A sales conversation might happen through email, but it's going to go, longer than that. You're going to be able to present your solution. Same thing, whether it's an email, a phone call, or in person. The leads need to turn into sales conversations. Now, this one I find is all over the board depending on the types of leads that you're getting. And so what you want to shoot for is 20 to 40%. And so what I mean by that is 20 to 40% of the leads that come in, you want to have a sales conversation with those people. Are you guys starting to see how you can fix a business here? Because maybe you're getting traffic and you're like, this is great. Maybe you're getting leads. This is great. Business is growing, business is improving. But you're just not getting sales conversations. So you know that this is the broken piece. And you know that if I put my attention here, this is what we're going to get. And so typically the broken pieces here can be boiled down to two things: automated nurturing and manual nurturing. As I'm saying that sounds a little funny, right? Manual nurturing. That sounds like some sort of breastfeeding video. Pardon my inappropriateness there. But yeah, like I say, automated nurturing is things like email sequences, automated text sequences, things like that, videos and stuff that we put out. Manual nurturing would be actually calling them. You'd be surprised how many people, I've done a lot of lead generation for not only dog trainers, but for other industries. You'd be surprised how many people get leads and don't call them. It's like epidemic. I don't understand it. I don't understand why someone would have like a lead come in. Somebody's like, hey, I took time out of my day to give you my name, phone number, and email and to tell you that I'm interested in dog training. And then you're like, well, I'm not going to call you back. I don't understand that, but it happens. In fact, I think it happens more often than anything. This is a big reason why my company has grown, is simply because we call people back or answer the phone when they call. And so people are looking to get help. And then so many dog trainers are like, no. You're not going to get help from me unless you jump through 38 different hoops and you give me your blood type and you fill out a form that's 12 pages long and you come to this thing and you do that thing. Then I might consider helping you. I mean, that's crazy. Call them, call leads. You could also text leads. You could manually email leads. But essentially, we need to have processes in place to where either automated or manual or a combo of both, we're reaching out to people to not only encourage them to take the next step, but to also, but to also educate them about what's different about us and what's unique about us and how awesome we are and things like that. Do you have a system that does this? This one's all about systems. In fact, everything here is about systems. But do you have a system? Are you getting 20 to 40% of the people that reach out into sales conversations? If not, this could be the part of your business that's broken and you need to fix it. I mean, what we're talking about here is an entire pipeline. And being honest, folks, about 80% of you, all four pieces are broken. And so that's why you're having a hard time growing. That's why you're having a hard time selling at the rate that you're trying to sell. And because you simply don't have systems in place. And what happens when you don't have systems in place is you run around all day with like a chicken with your head cut off. And so what happens is you are doing $6,000 a month in business, $4,000 a month in business, and you're crazy busy from doing $4,000 to $6,000. And you look and you see the other dog trainer doing $20,000 a month by himself, and he's not as busy as you. Well, the reason why is because you don't have systems in place. You probably don't even have systems in place for the training of the dog. But for all of this sales and marketing, you don't have systems in place. And so it's requiring you to work way harder than the next guy. And so like I say, when I was a sole practitioner, my last year as being a sole practitioner, I think I was up to $315,000 or $310,000 in revenue. I think after expenses, we kept, I don't know, $250 or $270. I don't even remember at this point. But we kept a lot. And we went out of the country twice. I mean, I was busy. I was really busy. But we went out of the country twice, took nice vacations. And I wasn't nearly as busy as the people that I talk with who are, doing $50,000 a year, $80,000 a year, $100,000 a year, because they did not have systems for any of this stuff. And so every single lead that came in, they were treating it like it was the first time they've had a lead. And so therefore, they were reinventing the wheel every single time, and it just causes burnout, low income, less impact, less dogs helped, less everything. And so like I say, it's a real problem when you're not putting systems in place here. All right, so like I say, we got to get, the 4 numbers we got to know. How much traffic? Do you know that? How well does your traffic convert into leads? Do you know that? Are you 10%? Are you 1%? Big difference there, obviously. 1,000% difference. Number 3, once the leads come in, are you doing a good job at turning those leads into sales conversations with at least a 20 to 40% rate? Now, once you're having sales conversations, are you closing? And I don't know if I like the term closing anyways. Closing, but anyways, are you turning the sales conversations into sales? Now, what should your rates be? Again, I'm giving you general rates here, guys. It's going to depend business to business. But there's general numbers that I can look at really quick and tell you where your problems are in a heartbeat, very quick, just by simply understanding where they could be. And so depending on how you close, if you close on the phone, I would say 30 to 60% is doable. 60% obviously being pretty high, 50% being like a very, very good average if you're closing on the phone. If you're closing in person, boom, 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 whether that's at their home or in the home of or at your business, 50 to 80% are good numbers to reach for. And in fact, this is actually the area where I find dog trainers have the least problem, which is surprising to me. And it's funny because a lot of dog trainers think this is where they have the most problem, but it's usually not. Oftentimes when I'm talking to dog trainers for the first time, I say, where do you think the problem is, the reason that you don't have 150 grand, 200 grand a year income? Why do you think that is? And a lot of them say, I think I need help with selling. But when we get into it, their numbers are fine. They're at 60%, 70%, 80% in person. They're good. It's just that all the previous stuff is broken. And so they're just not getting enough people into the sales conversations. Now, this is low-hanging fruit because there's oftentimes a lot of little things that you can do to fix this. But really, at the end of the day, this tends to be the smallest problem, and most dog trainers think it's the biggest. And so the biggest problems are usually here. Traffic turning into leads, leads turning into sales conversations. If you can finally get somebody in a sales conversation, the average dog trainer does a pretty good job. Now, again, it's low-hanging fruit because if you get just a little bit better and you sell 10% better, maybe you're at 60% and 10% better now gets you up to 66%. That usually means, I don't know, depending on the business, $10,000, $20,000 a year. All you had to do was get a little bit better and you just gave yourself a $10,000 to $20,000 raise. Think about that for a second. That's pretty darn awesome. And so like I say, if you have a job, how easy is it to get a $10,000 a year raise or a $20,000 a year raise? Not that easy. But with a business, if you're a sole practitioner or if you've got multiple employees, any one of these can give you a significant raise. You start getting more, if you've got all of these things, your traffic turning into leads is great, your leads turning into sales conversations is great, and your closing is great. You just need traffic. But like I say, it really just tells you exactly where you need to focus. So I'm not going to wax too much eloquent, too much more on this one, because this one is pretty cut and dry. These are numbers that you should shoot for. If you are getting these numbers and you're not making the money, either your traffic is bad or your prices are just garbage. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Oh, no, I guess I do. I'm just trying not to offend, but your prices are just garbage. If all of these numbers are great and you're making $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month, and you're getting good traffic, good leads, good conversions, good closing, and it's $5,000 a month, your pricing is garbage, and you've got to figure that out. And so anyways, but like I say, hopefully you can take this and look at it and say, where are my deficiencies, and fix them, because this is cut and paste, guys. This is figuring out where it is and fixing it. So awesome. Thanks for watching. Like I say, we are we have been doing this show every Monday evening. And so make sure to tune in. I don't usually answer questions during, because I just typically am just sharing the content, but I do come in after if there are any questions. And so thanks for watching. Oh, also down below, would you like to figure out how to do this in your business? Some people need help. They're like, I'm not sure how to even like look at this. Down below this this live stream, there's a link. You can schedule a call on my calendar. We'll talk, and we'll see if there's anything that we can do to help you improve all of these numbers so that you're getting 10, 20 grand a month like regular as a solo practitioner, or 40, 50, 100 grand, 150 grand a month if you've got multiple employees. So thanks for watching as always, and can't wait to talk to you soon.